What up, peeps? Big B here. So, it's been a pretty rough day. Just had some issues with my boy, but this too shall pass, I suppose. So, one thing that I think every single one of us on the planet can agree with, that we all deal with the things that happen to us from the time that we're born till today. Boy, I had a heck of a time spitting that out. Let's try that again. From the time that we're born to today, we all go through things, good, bad, or otherwise. The good things we process one way, the bad things we process another. And I use the word trauma. Everybody uses the word trauma. And trauma looks different on everybody, man. It's not a one size fits all. Trauma is a label that we put on things that we go through and how our body adjusts to it. And the suck part, man, is the pain that's caused through that trauma. Most of us can get. We can all understand that growing up in an abusive household, it's got to suck. It's got to suck being in survival mode 24/7. Growing up in an environment where one or both of your folks were alcoholics or drug addicts, absent, never home, whatever, and that's got to suck. You're bullied in school, as a kid. That's got to suck too, and we all get that. The problem is when we use this trauma, when we use these things that we've been through in our lives as a justification for poor behavior. You can't scream at somebody in the grocery store aisle because their cart was squeaky. I don't know if that's ever happened, but it sounds like something somebody would do in today's society. Anyway, but you can't scream at somebody for doing something and then go, well, that's just my trauma response. No, that's you being a butthead. That's what that is. That's you being an asshole. That doesn't give you permission, man. The things that you go through make you who you are. It doesn't give you a get out of jail free card. It doesn't give you an exception for we don't have an Uno reverse card for the, oh, nope, that was my trauma card. And that is not how it works. And I talked about my ADHD a lot. So I ended up, some things occurred while I was at work. And I didn't do some things that I needed to do. Caused some concern. So I ended up on probation. It is what it is, right? It's almost over, thankfully. Knock on wood. Hopefully we don't ever have to go through these again. But anyway, so my ADHD, I believe, was the cause of this. I had some other stuff going on, but I don't think, anyway, it was probably a combination of the ADHD and everything else I'm going on in my life. So, anyway, but I owned it. I said, well, evidently these things occurred. So, and then I tried to fix them. I didn't go, well, nope, it's fine. It's not my fault. No, I don't. Because I owned it. You got to own it because it's still you. You're still responsible for your actions. You can't use your mental health issues, whatever those mental health issues are, as a justification for poor behavior. And that's the whole bit of it, man. That was one of the things I was truly hesitant about. I talked to somebody about when I first started my page. It's one of the things that I truly wanted to get to stay away from, is I didn't want to give anyone ammunition to tell somebody that, that if you've got depression, it's okay to lay in bed all the time. If you've got anxiety, it's okay for you to just lose your ever-loving mind and yell and scream at people. If you've got whatever the issue is, that you can just, PTSD or whatever, that you can just scream at people because they upset you. And that is not at all what I stand for. We all got issues, man. It doesn't give you a free ticket to do and say whatever you want. Actions have repercussions. And you will be held accountable one way or another. So, anyway. All this to say that just because you've been through stuff doesn't give you a free ride. You still got to do the things that you got to do. Anyway. We'll talk soon.